Hey, what's up? This is Wendy. Let's talk about 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Tryin'. This album was huge. It dropped in 2003 and changed the game. 50 Cent wasn't playing around. He was raw, he was real, and his music hit you like a ton of bricks. Get Rich or Die Tryin' wasn't just an album, honey, it was a statement. 50 Cent was this tough guy, shot 9 times and lived to tell the tale. His music reflected that struggle, that hunger for success. It was gritty, it was powerful, and it resonated with people all over. This album was a commercial powerhouse. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts. It sold almost 1 million copies in the first week alone. It was like everyone and their mama was bumping 50 Cent. Get Rich or Die Tryin' wasn't just about the music, though. It was about a moment in time. It captured the energy of the streets. It gave a voice to the voiceless. And that's why it's still so iconic today. Okay, so let's break down the sound of Get Rich or Die Tryin'. This was classic early 2000s hip-hop. Think hard-hitting drums, catchy hooks, and a whole lot of attitude. It was all about that street vibe, raw and unfiltered. One of the key elements was the use of samples. Producers would take old soul, funk, and R&B records and flip them into something new. They'd chop them up, loop them, and add their own flavor. It was like taking something familiar and giving it a whole new edge. Then you had the drums. Those beats were heavy, man. They were designed to make you move, to make you feel it in your chest. A lot of times, they'd use these hard-hitting 808s. They'd layer them with snares and claps to create this really powerful, driving rhythm. And let's not forget the synths. They'd use these eerie, atmospheric synths to create a sense of drama and tension. It was like being transported right into 50 Cent's world, where danger lurked around every corner. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of how they made those hits. Back then, studios were still using a lot of analog equipment. Think mixing boards, compressors, and tape machines. These tools gave the music a warmer, more organic sound. Producers like Dr. Dre and Eminem were masters of their craft. They knew how to use these tools to create a really polished and powerful sound. They weren't afraid to experiment, to push the boundaries of what was possible. One of the key techniques they used was sampling, which I mentioned before. They'd dig through crates of old records looking for that perfect loop or melody. Then they'd chop it up and rearrange it in the sampler, creating something totally new and fresh. They also used a lot of layering. They'd layer different drum sounds, synth lines, and vocal tracks on top of each other to create this really rich and textured sound. It was all about creating a sonic landscape that drew you in and kept you hooked. All right, let's talk gear. What were they using to make these bangers? Well, one of the most important pieces of equipment was the Akai MPC. This was a sampler and drum machine all rolled into one. The MPC allowed producers to create entire beats on the fly. They could trigger samples, program drums, and arrange their tracks all in one place. It was like a portable studio, and it became synonymous with the sound of early 2000s hip-hop. Another key piece of gear was the Roland TR-808 drum machine. This iconic machine produced those deep, booming 808 bass drums that became a staple of hip-hop. They were so powerful that they could literally shake the walls. Of course, no studio was complete without a good mixing board. SSL and Neve consoles were the gold standard. These boards allowed engineers to sculpt the sound of the music with incredible precision. They could adjust the levels, EQ, and effects of each track to create a cohesive and impactful mix. Now, let's talk about some specific tracks on Get Rich or Die Tryin' that really showcase the sound we've been talking about. First up, we got In Day Club. This song was everywhere. It was the anthem of the year. It had that infectious beat, those catchy hooks, and 50 Cent's signature swagger. Then there's Pimp. This track had this dark, seductive vibe. It used these swirling synths and a heavy bass line to create this really hypnotic atmosphere. And 50 Cent's flow was just so smooth and effortless. And who could forget 21 Questions? This track showed a different side of 50 Cent. It was more melodic, more introspective. It sampled this beautiful Barry White song, and it just had this timeless quality to it. These tracks and the entire album really had a huge impact on the sound of hip-hop. They cemented 50 Cent's place as a force to be reckoned with and inspired countless other artists. So there you have it. That's the sound of Get Rich or Die Tryin'. It was raw, it was real, and it changed hip-hop forever. 50 Cent's album wasn't just about the music, it was about survival, ambition, and overcoming the odds. The album's impact was undeniable. It sold millions of copies worldwide. It topped the charts, it won awards. More importantly, though, it resonated with people from all walks of life. Get Rich or Die Tryin' wasn't just an album, it was a cultural phenomenon. And even today, you can still hear its influence in the music. That gritty, streetwise sound that 50 Cent and his collaborators perfected continues to inspire artists today. This album wasn't just about getting rich, it was about making a statement. And that statement was loud and clear. 50 Cent was here to stay.